I'm Beverly. I'm sitting in a police station, wrapped in a scratchy blanket, my hands still shaking. Just a short while ago, I was racing through the streets in my neighbor's truck, a maniac ex-boyfriend hot on my tail. How did I end up here? Let me take you back. 3 years ago, after graduating from veterinary school, I moved to Cedar Street. I was craving a quiet life, away from the chaos of my childhood. My parents were always arguing. My father was a strict workaholic, and my mother was a free spirit who couldn't stand the monotony of family life. She left when I was 18, leaving me and my dad in an empty house filled with tension. Cedar Street was a dream come true. Small, cozy houses with big yards, friendly neighbors who'd wave hello and stop for a quick chat about the weather. I bought a small, one-bedroom cottage with a green door. The only other beings in my life were my 2 rescue cats, Luna and Milo. Luna was a sassy black cat with a feisty attitude, and Milo was a chubby gray tabby who loved nothing more than napping in the sun. My days were simple. I'd wake up at 6:30 a.m. Feed the cats, and drive to the animal clinic where I worked as a veterinary assistant from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Helping animals and their worried owners gave me a sense of purpose. I'd come home, make a simple dinner, take a stroll around the neighborhood, and be in bed by 10:30 p.m. It was predictable, but after my turbulent upbringing, it felt like a warm hug. My next-door neighbor was Mr. Thompson. He was 65 years old, a retired military man. His lawn was always perfectly manicured, and he had a small American flag flying from his porch. We weren't close friends, just friendly neighbors. He'd bring me fresh eggs from his chickens in the summer, and I'd help him with his groceries during the winter. One Tuesday in late October, I had an incredibly long day at work. A German Shepherd had been hit by a car, and the surgery was long and complicated. I got home around 6:30 p.m. Completely drained. I fed Luna and Milo, heated up some soup, and collapsed on the couch. By 9:45 p.m. I was fast asleep in my bed, dreaming of peaceful days at the clinic. I was jolted awake by a pounding on my door. It was 3:22 a.m. My bedroom was pitch black, and my mind was foggy. I fumbled for my phone on the nightstand, and the bright screen nearly blinded me. Who could be at my door at this hour? The pounding continued, urgent and desperate. I threw off my blankets, grabbed my robe, and stumbled towards the door. Luna and Milo scattered in different directions, spooked by the noise. When I looked through the peephole, I saw Mr. Thompson. He was standing on my porch in his pajamas, a coat thrown over his shoulders, and no shoes, just slippers. His face was pale, and he was sweating profusely. I unlocked the door and opened it. Before I could ask what was wrong, he grabbed my arm firmly. "Beverly, you need to pack a bag right now. Just the essentials, clothes, your phone, important documents. You have 10 minutes to leave this house," he said, his voice trembling but his eyes serious. I stared at him like he'd lost his mind. Mr. Thompson was the most level-headed person I knew. His military training had made him calm under pressure. But here he was, at 3 a.m. telling me to leave my home. "Mr. Thompson, what are you talking about? It's the middle of the night. What's going on?" I asked, confused and scared. I thought maybe he was having some sort of mental breakdown. "I don't have time to explain. You're in serious danger. You have to trust me," he pleaded. I took a step back into my house, putting some distance between us. My mind raced with possibilities. Was he sick? Had he stopped taking his medication? "Mr. Thompson, you're scaring me. You're not making any sense. Are you okay? Do you want me to call someone for you?" I asked, my voice shaking. He looked frustrated and genuinely afraid. Beverly, I'm not crazy. You're in immediate danger. If you don't leave this house in the next few minutes, something terrible will happen to you. I started to close the door, thinking he needed to go home and rest. But he stuck his foot in the door and fumbled with his phone. Look at this, he said, shoving the phone in my face. On the screen was a text message thread. The contact name at the top made my blood run cold, Jake. Jake was my ex-boyfriend. He'd been in prison for assaulting me during our relationship. He was supposed to be locked up for another year. The messages were timestamped from tonight. The most recent one, sent just 35 minutes ago, read, "Is she home?" Someone replied, "Yeah, lights went out around 9:45. Then Jake again, "You're watching the right house. 1234, Cedar Street." The response, "I'm parked 2 houses down, blue Ford. Her car is in the driveway." And Jake's final message, "Perfect. I'll be there in 15 minutes. Don't let her leave." My legs went weak, and I grabbed the door frame to steady myself. Someone was watching my house right now, and Jake was on his way. "How do you have these messages?" I whispered. "Jake is my nephew. I didn't know you two had a history until these texts came through. He meant to text his friend who's watching your house, but he texted the wrong number. He was off by 1 digit, Mr. Thompson explained. I was in shock. The man who'd hurt me, who'd made my life a living hell, was related to my neighbor and was coming to my house. Mr. Thompson saw the panic on my face and grabbed my shoulders. "Beverly, I know this is a lot, but we don't have time. He could be here any second. We need to move." His words snapped me out of my frozen state. I ran to my bedroom, my hands shaking so much I could barely open the dresser drawers. I started grabbing clothes and stuffing them into a duffel bag. Mr. Thompson followed me in and started checking the windows, assessing the situation like a military strategist. "Is there a back way out of this house?" he asked. "The sliding glass door in the kitchen leads to the backyard," I replied, my voice high-pitched with fear. I also grabbed my laptop, charger, and the small safe under my bed that held my birth certificate and passport. Then I remembered Luna and Milo. I couldn't leave them. I grabbed their carrier and started looking for Luna, who'd hidden under the bed. "Come on, Luna. Please," I begged, reaching under the bed. Milo was easier to catch, and I placed him in the carrier. Finally, I managed to get Luna in as well. Just then, we heard a car door slam outside. Mr. Thompson moved to the front window and peeked through the curtain. "There's a truck in your driveway. Someone just got out," he whispered. My phone buzzed in my hand. A text message from an unknown number lit up the screen. "I know you're in there, Beverly. We need to talk. Open the door." It was Jake. Mr. Thompson turned to me, his face pale but determined. "Go now." Through the kitchen, the back door, and into my yard to my garage. "Move." I grabbed my duffel bag, purse, and the cat carrier and ran. My feet slipped on the kitchen tile as I struggled to unlock the sliding glass door. Behind me, I heard heavy footsteps on the porch and aggressive pounding on the door. "Beverly, open up. I just want to talk," Jake's voice boomed through the house. The voice that used to say he loved me now sounded menacing. Finally, the lock gave way, and I slid the door open. Mr. Thompson was right behind me, pushing me into the darkness of the backyard. We ran across the grass towards the fence that separated our properties. I could barely see where I was going, tripping over uneven ground. Behind us, the sound of breaking glass shattered the night. Jake had broken through my front window. We were running out of time. Mr. Thompson fumbled with the gate latch in the dark, his hands shaking as badly as mine. We could hear Jake moving through my house, shouting my name. "Beverly, I know you're here. Stop playing games. The gate finally opened, and we stumbled into Mr. Thompson's yard. He guided me towards his garage. My lungs were burning, and my arms ached from carrying the heavy bag and the cat carrier. Inside the garage, Mr. Thompson unlocked his old pickup truck and handed me the keys. Drive straight to the police station on Elm Street. Don't stop for anything. Just go, he said. What about you? I asked. I'm calling 911 right now. I'll give them all the information. You need to go, he replied, already dialing. I threw my bags into the passenger seat and placed the cat carrier on the floor. I climbed behind the wheel, my hands shaking so much I could barely insert the key into the ignition. The engine roared to life. Mr. Thompson hit the button for the garage door, and it started to open slowly. Keep your headlights off until you're on the street, he instructed, already talking to the 911 operator. I put the truck in reverse and backed out of the garage. I could see across the yards to my house. The front door was wide open, and light spilled out onto the porch. As I reversed into the street, I saw Jake emerge from my house. He hadn't seen me yet. He was checking his phone. I turned the wheel and pressed on the gas. The truck lurched forward. That's when Jake's head snapped up. Our eyes met for a brief moment. I saw recognition and then rage on his face. He started running towards his truck, pointing at me and shouting. I floored the accelerator, driving faster than was safe. In my rear-view mirror, I saw headlights appear behind me. My heart stopped. Was it Jake? The headlights were getting closer. I pressed harder on the gas, blowing through a stop sign. Elm Street finally came into view, and I saw the police station, a large, well-lit building with several patrol cars in the lot. I swung into the parking lot so fast I nearly hit a parked car. A police officer standing outside, holding a coffee cup, looked up in surprise as I skidded to a stop and practically fell out of the truck. Help me. Please help me. I gasped. My ex-boyfriend just broke into my house. He's been watching me, and he's following me. The officer's expression changed from surprise to alertness. He grabbed his radio. I need backup at the station. Possible domestic violence situation. Suspect may be en route. He put his hand on my shoulder and guided me inside. Ma'am, you're safe now. Come in and tell me everything. I looked back at the street, terrified that Jake's truck would pull in behind me, but there was nothing. Inside the station, everything was a blur of bright lights and questions. Later, I learned that the police had arrested Jake at my house. They also picked up his friend, who was sitting in the blue Ford, just as the text messages had said. When they searched Jake's truck, they found zip ties, duct tape, and a hunting knife with my name carved on the handle. Jake was charged with attempted kidnapping, first-degree burglary, stalking, criminal mischief, and violating the terms of his parole. His friend was charged as an accessory. After that night, I couldn't go back to my house. The thought of walking through that broken windowed door, knowing Jake had been inside, made me sick. My older brother, who lived in the next town, drove down and helped me pack up my things. Mr. Thompson also helped, his face lined with guilt, even though it wasn't his fault. I found a new apartment in a secure building with a doorman and security cameras. It was expensive, but safety was worth every penny. 4 months later, the trial took place. I had to sit in the courtroom and face Jake as the prosecutor presented all the evidence, the text messages, the weapons, the testimony from his friend about his plans. Jake's lawyer tried to claim it was all a misunderstanding, but the jury didn't buy it. The judge sentenced Jake to 15 years in prison with no parole for at least 10 years. His friend got 6 years. When the verdict was read, I finally felt like I could breathe again. Mr. Thompson attended every day of the trial. His sister, Jake's mother, was angry with him for choosing me over her son. But Mr. Thompson stood firm. I raised Jake, but the man who tried to hurt Beverly is a danger. I won't apologize for doing the right thing, he said. Now, Mr. Thompson and I have dinner together every Sunday. He's teaching me how to grow herbs on my apartment balcony, and I'm teaching him how to use video chat so he can talk to his granddaughter in New York more often. That night on Cedar Street was a wake-up call. Danger doesn't always come with a warning. Sometimes it's someone you thought you'd left behind. But thanks to a wrong number text and a brave neighbor, I'm here to tell this story. Trust those who show up for you in a crisis, and never ignore that gut feeling that something's wrong.